The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Cali Sportsman, WDC is now on your radio. Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. They talk sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score, play by play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment. From the famous and the, you name it. Cover all sports from the football field.
All right, good evening. Welcome to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan, aka WDC. I want to thank you for tuning and listening in. Again, as always, we have a spectacular show for you right here on Morris Media Lives on Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. As you've been following the social media, you've been here since April 1st. We've been doing the special segment, Chasing the Hoop Dreams. We've had the LABC League here. We had Pac Rim, P4E, Inglewood Fellas, all been here so far. We got today and we got one more Monday. And then, if you've been checking the social media again, we got the Basketball Beauties coming. So I've been able to reach out to them. So we got some female hoopers because I know they chase the hoop dream as well. So May, we're gonna do some female hoopers here live on Sports Collective TV. So make sure you follow Instagram at Sports Collective Media, and also I was able to get the at Chasing the Hoop Dreams on Instagram. Nobody had it, so I snatched it. All right, so not by myself, of course. I got my man Cali Sportsman is back. Do you want to address the community, man?
Hello, back again.
You rejuvenated?
I just gave a major shout out, man, on the island of Waikiki to Sports Collective Media, keeping it live once again on a Monday. I was hopping off a plane, but I got close to the beach with a little something to drink in my hand and threw my headset on with my A's hat because, I represent Oakland, California. So, anyway.
Yeah.
But no, welcome to be back, man. I'm excited, man. It's just, man, to have the leagues on this month really means a lot because, just talking to the young mans in the studio, getting this exposure, man, is where it's at, and being able to take the content of just letting the bigger window of people know what you're doing, is so vital, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we look for bad news, but I just, look back at the shows while I was out and just like, wow, just the stories alone and the travels that people have, and to be able to use Morris Media Studios and Sports Collective Media, sponsored by AskGilead.com. We got all these pieces and engines to be able to kind of help you tell your story and use that exposure to set you apart from the guys who are just in the gym. Because, I think owners and people need to kind of know what's under the scenes because these guys got this tenacity for the sport, man. And, that's kind of my Obama speech for now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Obama speech. Can I get a two-piece? You got wings in that? What comes with that Obama speech?
You said you always get a Sprite, right?
Yeah, Sprite.
You always get a Sprite.
They ain't
Or you get
the
strawberry soda. Get the strawberries.
They ain't pay for that. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Right now we have up here our guest representing P4E. So shouts out to Don for sponsoring this segment with his team and his league. And so just introduce yourself, man, and we'll get started.
Ronald Ellison. I've been playing with P4E and Don for about 5 years now. 2014, after I graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Play at Santa Ana College. That's pretty.
All right, don't get too far in there. All right, so give us some background. Where were you grew? You grew up in Downey, so give us what was going on back then in Downey.
Grew up in Downey. I was a super shy kid.
Shy?
On the court, I'm a different person. I talk and everything,
Uh-huh.
but when I'm off, I would not talk to anybody.
Describe your shyness. Is it quiet? Were you like...
Yeah, I was quiet off to the side.
Yeah.
Until I started maybe till about 4th grade when I played my first organized basketball team. So that's actually kind of brought it out a little bit.
Okay.
Then when I started playing travel ball, that's when I actually started talking. I met some of my best friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't really talk to many people. So the close-knit guys
looking back now as an adult, what was going on as that little guy? What do you think that was?
I don't know. I was more like, I would say I was afraid of meeting new people. So whenever I would go out somewhere, I was like stay tucked in with my parents. And my little brother was the same. Was probably worse than me at one point until he got into high school himself. But yeah.
So was basketball the first love, or was there any other sports you played?
Surprisingly, baseball was my first love.
Baseball?
Yeah, I don't know why it was. I have a yearbook, and they asked us for what we want to do. I was like, I want to play baseball just because I want to hit home runs. I played baseball.
Did you hit any?
No, I did not.
But it's been said, by many that the IQ of baseball and learning how to play baseball makes you exceptional in other sports. Because
of the patience you have.
Because the mechanics also, if you want to golf, has the same mechanics in swinging. If you want to run, you got to catch a football. All these things happen because running just alone, if you was in track, you got to run straight.
Yeah.
You have to have formation. So if you're just trying to get to first base, all that stuff comes out of baseball.
Yeah, it's true.
So you switched from baseball. Did you give up on baseball completely, or did something happen, or
I completely, because I started playing football also. So football and basketball were the things that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
One of those two is I want to do. Then in middle school I did track also, but then basketball kind of took over because then I broke my wrist back-to-back years in the same day.
All right, I want to stop right there. So right now, as y'all know, back in the day, 3 sports, you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to be exceptional in one just to go somewhere, right? So 3 sports. So my next question was, what was academics like?
I'm not going to lie. They're kind of slack. You
didn't have no time.
Then is it parents? Somebody kind of did what happened?
Yeah,
anything happened?
My dad was always on my case about it. My mom was just like, let him play, he'll be okay. My dad was like, nope, no grades, can't play. So I kind of kept them just level so I could play. So I was always focusing on I want to being a receiver, then playing whatever I can on basketball. I'll do whatever I need to do.
Okay.
So let's go some mental toughness. So 3 sports. Obviously, you got some mental toughness. Plus, you got broken wrists.
Yeah.
Where did that toughness come from?
I would say my dad. My dad, because he grew up playing football, basketball, baseball. He did track as well. He said he did a season of volleyball, but I don't really believe that. Because I look at it as I could barely play it myself. I think I would have got something out of that. Nah. Yeah, I would say toughness. Just because when I broke my wrist initially, my first person I looked to was my dad. I don't know how, but I blinked. He was on the sideline. Then I blinked again. He's right next to me. And I'm just I'm looking at my wrist. I'm freaking out. And then my dad was just you'll be okay. Just always taught me to just take a deep breath and just relax. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the situation at hand. It'll be squared away. If you just continue pushing through, you'll be okay.
Okay. So you make it through that. 2 broken wrists.
Yeah, and the following year was the worst. The way I broke it the second time was I shouldn't have been doing what I did. I was playing on the monkey bars. I'm in 8th grade.
Gymnastics.
I tried it. I mean, I was on one end of the monkey bars, and my friend in front of me, he wanted bet I could do this. So he kind of jumped from one end to the other, and I was like, all right, bet I could jump. I'll bet you I could jump from this. I get the bar right in front of the one, right after the one you just got. I got it, but my momentum swung me, and so I fell down. There's dirt, so I fell down on my wrist. And then half my face, my body is full of dirt. Oh. And I'm looking at my wrist. I was like, it doesn't look the same as the first time. So I think it's okay. When I try to bend my wrist, I look at it, I was like, nah, it hurts when I do that. So went to the hospital. Sure enough, I broke it. Ironically, in the same exact spot as the first time. Boy. So I'm just it was right before our football season started. So it's all right, I'm gonna just let this slide. Cause my mom, she worries. Yeah. Worries a lot. So I mentioned about playing football in high school. My mom said, you can see in the face, she said no. It's trying to tell my dad, maybe I could play and just kind of not tell him until the season's about to start. And he's we can, but he kind of backed. I was like, nah, I don't want your mom freaking out, having a heart attack before the first snap. Yeah. It's all right, so I did kind of give that up. So
you went to basketball.
Just went to basketball full on.
So, what were you looking for in basketball at the moment? Was you looking to go to college, or were you just looking in the moment to play high school ball and kind of figure out what you was gonna do?
At the moment, I'm not gonna lie that one either. At the moment, I just want to play. I want to be on varsity as fast as possible. So I played my freshman year. I did all right.
So freshman year, were you varsity?
No, I was not. I
So
wasn't
that's
freshman
so
team.
for Ron, that tells you the measurement,
Yeah.
or it
Yeah.
tells you the type of coach. Because a lot of guys come in freshman year can play varsity, even though they might be 7-man. You know, so you had a tough coach, probably, or your
Yeah.
skill set wasn't quite there.
Tough coach and skill set wasn't there.
Okay.
Quite there. And then my sophomore year, I would practice with varsity every once in a while, but I never really made it. So I just ended up playing JV, where I played pretty much all but like 2 minutes a game maybe. And then for playoffs, I got moved up for it. But then the week before, I broke my right wrist.
Oh,
so I broke
wow.
the other wrist. So I was just like,
Wow,
You don't need no wrist, man.
for real.
I was unlucky.
Gonna be a
That's for
dolphin.
sure.
So did the wrist breaking interfere with your chances to go to college? Or
Well, hold up. Now, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed, so I broke my left wrist twice.
Twice. And
So
then
I was
now,
okay.
is this your right one now?
Yeah, it's my right one I broke,
Man.
but that one wasn't bad. I
Was
was
you
able to
cussing
get back.
God or something?
Nah,
I mean, you had to be mad. Like, you know?
Man, I was unlucky, that's for sure. But ended up being okay after like 3 weeks. I took the cast off, but by then the season was over with. They got eliminated, so I just focused on like a little rehab here and there. Then I went straight into hooping. I was varsity right after that.
Okay. So that made you feel accomplished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like finally made it. I mean, it took a while, but at least I finally made it.
so
And then,
let's-
so out of varsity, you know, what was your stats like for those 3 years or 2
So
years?
I played 1 year in Downey, my junior year. Then I transferred to Warren. In Downey, I was averaging like 10 points a game.
So
Or,
one-dimensional, just points, no steals, no rebounds?
like 10 points. I would average like 5 or 6 rebounds. Rebounding, I could rebound well from my size. I'm only 6'1".
Okay.
But steals, I wouldn't really steal the ball that much. I was always like initially, my coach would put me on the
Create
point
the-
guard
Okay.
of the team.
I think we got a picture of a young Ellison somewhere in there.
Look at that. That's
So I think
tight.
we got a picture of that. Let's see if we can get that.
Nice shiny ball.
Yeah.
They put some Vaseline on it.
Well, look.
I was in.
Yeah, the Bears.
Those two are my day ones. I've known them since the one on the right, same name as me, born 6 months to the day after me. Known him since probably first grade. The one in the middle, my friend Shree, known him since about third grade. Yeah, those are my dogs.
Those are the ones you opened up to talk to.
Yeah, surprisingly. And then the one on the right, he's kind of shy too. So it's like we would talk every now and then, but you don't really see us talking that
Yeah.
much. Now we don't stop talking.
So did you get an opportunity to go to college? Let's get into college.
Right after high school, no, I did not.
No.
I just ended up working, and then I decided I want to try it. So I went to Fullerton College to try out, but I didn't really make it. Then so I was like, all right, I didn't make it, so let me go somewhere closer to home and just go to school. Then I went to Long Beach City College, and then so I was just there. I could have tried out, but I was like, I don't know initially. So then I ended up, my friend, he was just happened to be playing at Santa Ana College. And then he was about to leave to college in Boston. So he told me, oh, there's a spot you could try out. They're losing a lot of returners, so you could try it. And then so all right, I'll try it. I went. Coach liked me. Told me to just come through spring workouts, summer workouts. Then I ended up making the team officially in about September of last year. Mm-hmm. And from there, I mean, I didn't play too much the first couple games, but then after I just kept practicing because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna waste a year just sitting on the bench. But my friend was telling me, just keep playing, you'll find your way, because our team was a bunch of freshmen. We had two sophomores that were returners. We had a couple sophomores, but they were transferring from different places, but we had 2 returning sophomores. Just keep playing, practice hard, you'll find your time. Just continue rebounding the ball because you do that well. Mm-hmm. And then ended up I've been leading the team second. I was the second leading rebounder on the team. And my teammate, he was averaging like 8 or 9 rebounds a game. And then I ended up averaging 6 this season.
So what is your chasing the hoop dream today? What is that?
Pretty much I want to just go somewhere I'm wanted. I don't want to just go somewhere and just be like, oh, we got someone else. They got 3 people in your spot. We don't really need you type thing. Even though they're not going to say that, but you kind of get the gist of it.
But when you say go somewhere, is that like overseas? Is that
like right now? I want
or what? Just a group of guys where you could just play with? You know, is it revenue part?
No,
is there a
like,
revenue piece yet?
So yeah, I want to go overseas. That's
Okay.
the ultimate goal: going overseas and play basketball. I want to get paid to play.
Yeah.
Just playing the sport I love to play, and I could travel the world. There's nothing better to me. There's nothing better than that.
And how is it? You know, this is brought to you by P4E. So how is it playing in playing for eternity, man?
I love that league. They're so caring. Like Don, he welcomed me with open arms. First, I played with a couple friends on the team. Then we ended up breaking up. I ended up making my own team. Don let me make my own team. I brought in some of the guys that I grew up with playing travel ball with, and we ended up playing. We won a championship with one of them. This is my first time actually before I made my team. This is a year before I made my team. And won a championship there. And I was like, all right. Then my friend Ant was like, oh, this is gonna be your team now. You can just make it officially because he's the one. He works with Don behind the scenes and everything. He's like, you can make your own team. Bring your own guys in. Brought them in. We've been in the championship twice. Haven't won one yet, but we'll be there soon eventually.
And how is that spirituality for you? Did you have that in your background?
Never did. I never had that in my background until playing in the league. I remember asking, I never wanted to read a Bible or nothing. I remember, I saw one on a little Bible on the desk one day on the table, and I asked Don is it possible you could give me one? He let me have the one right there on the table, so I just keep that one in my car whenever I need something. Like if I'm feeling down or something, I just pull it out of my car, just read it in between classes or something.
No kidding.
You know, that's really kind of dynamic right there because, you know, you never know how the word of God comes through people. You know, I mean, Easter was just yesterday and everybody's pretty much, you know, paying respects to the resurrection and what their beliefs are or what have you. If there's just a barbecue and just family, whatever that may be. But just hearing your story is kind of an amazing piece because, you know, throughout this whole journey that you've been having, you know, it's almost you're kind of God sent because in his story is really all the bumps in the road and the broken wrist and other broken wrists. You know, he's the tenacity, again, to chase the dream. Nothing's to do what I love. To hear those type of statements, man, is about what we really, about whatever we like and whatever we do and to sacrifice it all, you know, so... and then to be introduced to, you know, something that wasn't introduced to you before, and then that actually gives you a whole different perspective on your journey. So, I mean,
because it takes a lot to add that to your belief system.
Yeah,
I've learned that everybody has a belief system, and it's basically from your environment. Mm-hmm. When your parents pretty much teach you, the belief system, and then at some point you become a teenager or an adult. And you want to,
become
sometimes you got to, so then you got to challenge what your parents taught you to see if that's still something you want to continue to believe. And then you meet somebody like Don who gives you another type of belief system, and it seems like you embrace that.
Yeah, I did a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really a balance. I mean, when you look at basketball and you look at balance, everything in life is balance. Like you military, it's a balance, and you had to find that balance. Yeah. You know, some find it in other people. Some people find it in music. Some people find it in art. I think it was, I was watching the Combine. It was a young kid from Texas. I think he's going pro, and he likes horses. Like horses.
That's like the randomest thing.
Yeah, horses. Like, you know, who would think, you know, horses. So and he uses no saddle, just hops on them and rides these horses. And he's like, I'm just fascinated with the horses. So
now that you've been introduced to these Bible principles is what I'd say they're Bible principles. They're principles to live by.
Moral compass.
How is that impacting your life? I heard you say you read it when you feel certain types of way now. So
it's actually helped me like continuously keep belief in myself that no matter what obstacle I face, I could kind of push through it and get to what I want. like with school, last semester, man, while playing, I was kind of struggling. I'm not gonna lie, but I ended up being just fine.
Yeah.
Ended up passing all my classes and everything.
All right. Before I let you get out of here, why is your social media important?
My social media, I mean, I don't really use Instagram a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can kind of tell if you look at my profile, like 1-2 posts a year maybe.
Yeah.
But I love social media though. It gives me insight to like different places in the world. So I'm here. Down
So
in
you're
California.
looking,
He's a
but you're not
stalker. He's a
posting.
social
Yeah.
media stalker. Yeah.
On Twitter, I'm active. Instagram, like, not so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'll keep a conversation. Oh, they post an Instagram story. I ask them, oh, what was that about? Like,
Yeah.
what was that like? Or something. But on Twitter, man, it kills me.
Yeah.
Like, it really kills me.
Cool deal, man. Anything else you want to say before we let you go? Did we miss anything?
Nah.
Shout outs you want to say hello to anybody?
Man, shout out to all my day one friends. They know who they are. They've been with me since the sandbox, pretty much.
Cool
When I
deal.
wouldn't talk, till now I can't stop talking sometimes.
Cool deal. Well, thank you, man, for being here. We're going to take our first break. We got Pac Rim's guest coming up here, and so stay tuned for that. And then we got a call from the LABC guest, Seth. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for like 2 minutes.
All right, thank you for having me.
This segment was sponsored by P4E. Visit playingforeternity.com for more info and listen to their Selective Games live broadcast on Sports Collective Radio. AskElia.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskElia.com.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Welcome back to Sports Collective TV with my hungry Jack over here, Cali Sportsman in the building.
I've been on fruit for 7 days.
That's your diet plan, though, ain't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't smoothie. I'm normally on a smoothie. Mother Love, Mother Fitness.
Mother Fitness.
I'm calling her Mother Love, but she has a lot of love. But Mother
Yeah.
Fitness. And then shout out to our other boy, Antoine.
Antoine, that's right.
But,
He's got a guest for me too. I gotta.
He's supposed to be kind of doing something. And Dennis, he was competing too. So, we deal with a lot of fitness folks. So we just giving a quick little shout out. And
bodybuilders.
I'm
Olympians,
working on my little chisel body right now. You know what I'm saying? It's chiseling away. That's what you want to
The
do.
chisel's still at Home Depot. All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV special segment brought to you by Pac Rim, Chasing the Hoop Dreams. As you heard, our guest earlier sharing his backstory about what he's up to as far as it relates to basketball. There's a lot of life in basketball, as Cali Sportsman has been sharing as well. So we like to connect those dots, not all the time, but these dots are important. So our next guest from Pac Rim is Mr. Hardaway. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So introduce yourself, man, and
my name is
start.
Robbie Hardaway. I know we talked about that.
Yeah.
The first name is spelled weird. I'm 26. I just turned 26 in March. I'm married. I've been married for about 4 years to my wife, school. She's actually like my high school sweetheart as well.
Wow.
So we've been together for about 9 years. We're actually expecting too for the first time. So this year's been real interesting.
Interesting year.
Yeah.
You got like a Cinderella.
Yeah, I know, right?
The girl from high school. I was the basketball player. She was the cheerleader. You know what I'm saying?
9 years.
Let's get all that out the way.
Yeah,
Let's get all the family stuff out the way.
So Robbie, what was Robbie growing up, man? Who was that little guy?
I actually grew up in Los Angeles. My mom, like, I guess, born out of wedlock. My dad pretty much was there for the most part, but I was mainly around my mom. And I do have a younger brother. His name is Remy Hardaway. And I have an older brother. I have a couple siblings. Typical in a sense.
Yeah, of course.
But grew up in LA majority of my life, and then I moved to like Lawndale area, or actually Hawthorne.
Ooh.
So I grew up in Hawthorne for about, like 4 or 5 years. I went to Hawthorne Middle School. Actually, I went to the elementary school, Eucalyptus Elementary School, Hawthorne Middle School, and then I almost went to Hawthorne High, but I went to the Math and Science Academy. And pretty much I ended up transferring to Lawndale like my last 2 years of high school. And then that's where I pretty much met my wife there. I told her, you can be my wife. But so I met her there. And then I was actually still living in LA while going to Lawndale at the same time.
So let me ask you, like, listening to the story, I'm like Steve Harvey, dissecting as we go along. I mean, there was something important about you having structure with a relationship, and that's not really most common at men your age, attractive, athletic, the girls are at you, but what was that? What was that part? Because that's the part of the whole moral compass we were talking about earlier, but where did that come from? Because you've seen the broken home, and you've seen that, and it's like, did it go to the point where like I don't want that?
Yeah.
Or where did that come from?
It's really interesting. At a young age, like you said, seeing that broken home, I really didn't like that. Like, it's just like something embedded in me, love family. So, to see my dad not being there a lot, or to see my mom struggling or something, I purposed in myself that I wanted to be a better dad, a better father to my kids in the future. And I mean, I'm sitting there like 5, 7 years old. That's where my mind was. I think because my mom, was so morally strong as well. She came from a pretty morally driven home for the most part, but she was a lot different than most of her family members as well. So, just with that whole growing up aspect, I brought that into myself, and I just grew up with that. And I've always, for some reason, wanted to get married as well when I was young, because I felt like that was the completion of the family.
Right.
And so from there,
that's interesting, a young kid to think that way.
Yeah. But that's what I tell you, that they're so important, because sometimes those decisions
go back to the root.
Can go back. They could take you off track, but they could also give you that defining of what kind of person you're going to be, because he made a decision when he realized that his pops wasn't around. So I got to be this kind of guy when I grow up.
It was too. I mean, it was even still, young man, you've seen all these beautiful women too. I'm just like, I think I was like, I don't know, maybe 9 or 11 or one of those. And I'm like, man, God, like, it's so many beautiful women out here. I know when I get older, I'm going to go broke. Like, just dead serious. I just know I'm going to go broke, because I know I want to have a relationship with all these women or whatever. It wasn't even sexually in my mind, but it was just like, I want to take her out. And I'm like, there's 7 days a week. It's like, I'm not going to have enough money. So I was like, I'd rather have a wife.
Just have one girl.
There, legit. Like, I was like, I just always wanted to have a wife. So any of my little
he wanted to keep it in house.
Any of my little early relationships, I was like, I would, kind of be like, oh yeah, let's get married, stuff like that. I'm just
scare him away.
Right. You'd be surprised, though. You'd be surprised.
So we're cooking and everything.
Way of talking.
Where? I want a mental toughness, so I know where the smooth operator comes from. Where does the mental toughness come from? I mean, defining that. I mean, a lot of us grow up in parents not married. Some of us have that experience.
Yeah.
And so we make decisions about ourselves. What was your mental toughness, as that young guy?
It definitely wasn't growing up in LA, because I didn't grow up in LA for the full duration, but my mom, she was very overprotective, in a sense. That's how they would usually tell her. But my mom, being a single mother, her father wasn't really in her life as much. She was loving, but she was like that tough love, type of woman. So she still, gave us different things, my younger brother and I, and she went through a lot of things with her, with my dad as well. But she had to pretty much like strive and do a lot on her own, but she was always, I saw her growth in her relationship with God as well. So from there, you'd be very surprised in elementary. I actually didn't have any mental toughness. Like, it was like these two, Hispanic guys that used to call me Chocolate a lot. And I used to be like, man, like, why are y'all still bothering me? Like, I still know Francisco and Alex. No, I'm cool with them now, but... They
got a shout out.
Now he's cool with y'all.
If they watch it, they were like, I had talked to them a long time ago. But yeah, they used to call me Chocolate a lot. And, I actually even had a counselor because I was, like, first grade, I was really smart. And I ended up actually skipping the second grade. And I went to third grade. And I was supposed to skip the third grade to go to fourth, but my mom was like, no, like, it's too much of a big social gap. So I actually had a counselor that I was going to because I just felt like I wasn't confident and stuff like that. And that counselor actually wasn't even encouraging me either. She was kind of like making me feel like it was okay to feel defeated. Like, oh, it's okay for you to feel stupid. Like, it's okay. Like, legit. So my mom and I, we went through all this stuff with this counselor. And so my mom used to just really instill in me, like, you got to be stronger. You can't be timid. You can't talk, like, like your voice can't be, weak and stuff like that. So over time, over time, I actually developed it a lot more. And you got to remember, like, it's my mom telling me this, not my dad, and I would, of course, wanted my dad to tell me that, but I didn't have that. So I did have role models, father figures in my life too, that definitely aided me in really getting that mental toughness.
I haven't heard nothing about basketball yet. So where did basketball come in all this?
I was playing since I was 2. You know what I'm saying? That's I was dunking at 8.
No, I have like such a weird story too with basketball. Like I've always loved it. I used to play in the backyard, on the little playmate courts, just dunking and stuff like that. And grew up watching Tracy McGrady, T-Mac. That's it, Tracy McGrady, T-Mac, and Kobe and stuff like that. So I loved what I watched. I used to go practice it all the time. And I tried to play like travel ball teams, but my mom didn't have enough money to really like just keep me involved in it. So I never really got to develop as much as I wanted to. I didn't know anything about trainers. She didn't know. And of course, like some of the men that were trying to do travel ball, they would, try to talk to my mom and stuff like that. So she would always end up leaving. And I played like YMCA, stuff like that. But I get to high school, my freshman and sophomore year, I actually went to a preparatory high school. So they didn't have a basketball team. So I had to go walk to Hawthorne High School, which was like 7 miles away, to try to go play for them. It didn't work out. So I ended up transferring to a public high school, which is Lawndale High School. That's kind of like close to Lusinger. And I played my JV year.
Is that up for Rosecrans?
No, dang, it's like 149th.
Okay,
I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't been there so and it's a long time. But it's like Hawthorne, Lawndale, and then like Lusinger is a little bit of like a step over there. So it's near. So I only played JV and varsity, and my varsity coach actually didn't care for me because my mom would take me out of practices if I had like a C in one of my classes. So he used to be pissed off, and he loved one of a couple of the players there. So he ended up actually deleting like my stats. He never kept stats for me or anything. So I was like this ghost basically coming out of high school.
So 2 pieces. We can 2 pieces. One, that's what I did for 2000. I think we were talking about that earlier. From 2000, you were the kid that I picked up with the NFL yet, and shout out to Southwest Sports Academy and all those guys in Arizona. You were the kid who mom would trust us to take you where you needed to go to get the exposure, and you would be a beast for us. You know what I'm saying? And we understand you didn't have the money because we wasn't like, literally, kids, we used to take kids to Vegas, and they thinking they're going to, vacation. Like, no, we at the extended stay. It's 4 kids per room, or 6 kids per room. And we're here for basketball. And you'd be one of those kids, be like, he'll get it. Now, I ain't trying to go swimming. You can't go swimming. You don't have noodle legs. You can't beat nobody. So that's the big piece. We was that kid, and then the other piece is that it built that moral compass for you. You know what I'm saying? I can only just imagine when he would have been like, in regards to
some backing.
Well, yeah, because that's we talked about this earlier. It's all about the development.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't know what era you were playing in, but was it 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2012? So it's like it's flip flop. So it used to be all recruitment came out of your high school games. Then all your recruitment came out of your AAU tournament. Now the AAU and the high school is playing all year round to try to keep their talent together.
Sure.
So they're trying to play like the prep schools that are out there. Like so the whole animal of it is just changing. So, but you can finish your story.
Did you have so what? Out of high school, was it college or you didn't have enough?
Well, no, because I didn't. I mean, in high school, I didn't get recruited at all. I was playing center in high school.
Wow.
So my coach didn't really develop like any type of like dribbling skills. So as soon as I ended up going to Cal State Northridge, pretty much 2010.
From the academic standpoint.
Yeah, and then.
And what was your GPA?
It was over 3.0. It was solid. It was solid because I went through a little bit. I could have. Really been that nerd.
Hey, you got there. You got there.
You got there.
We do college preparation around here. We do college preparation.
Don't let him take you off your game.
I could have did better.
Yeah. He said he went from the first grade to the fifth grade.
Could have did better.
He was the littlest kid in the fifth grade.
Right.
True, hey.
So college was cool.
Yeah.
Did you ball in college?
No. 2010. Like I said, I was pretty much a ghost, so I didn't have any stats or anything like that. I get to Cal State Northridge, I'm still playing in a sense like a center. I would still dribble here and there, but you remember the lockout, NBA lockout happens. Paul George comes to our
2011,
school.
2012.
Yeah. So maybe that story is later. So I actually tried to try out for Cal State Northridge. I get to the actual practice or the tryout an hour before everybody. I'm warmed up. I'm excited. And actually the day before, I'm trying to get my physical because basically it was just this long old story trying to get the physical and everything like that. So I finally got it at 8 p.m. I get home at 8 p.m. at night from the bus coming from Torrance. And I'm still juiced for the next day. So tryout day, there an hour early before everyone. Coaches come in, people are coming in. And I turn in my little packet because there's a tryout packet. So the coach is looking through it, and all of a sudden he sees one signature not there. He's like, "Oh, you can't try out if you don't have this signature." And I'm like, "What you mean? I can't try out?" And it was from the guy that I actually seen a long time ago. I didn't necessarily know I needed that signature from him at the time, but he happened to not be there that day. So I'm literally running around during the tryout trying to find this dude, and he actually ends up coming 10 minutes left in the tryout, and I see him, and so there's there's 8 other guys trying to find the same guy. So I give him a pack, and I'm like, I need this signature, blah blah blah. He remembers me, so he's the only one. He's signing mine. He's like, oh, I'm only signing his, and everybody else is like, dang. But I mean, at that point, it's only 5 minutes left.
The chase.
So,
exactly.
So as soon as he signs it, I get in there, I turn my packet in. It's 5 minutes left. I start killing, and tryouts in. They're like, all right, thank you. So I'm literally on my way to the dorm, back to the dorm, and I get a call oh yeah, thank you for trying out. We're gonna go with someone else, blah blah, some other people. So that was it. So then sophomore year, I tried to try out again, but the assistant coach was giving me a lot of pushback. It was obviously there's some politics involved. I didn't know what politics was at the time.
Back then,
I'm just thinking I just want to try out. I just want to be on the team because I really wanted to be a student athlete. So I didn't get to.
Because you at that era where actually the recruitment was favoritism.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
I have no knowledge.
It was prior to the social media pieces where they all wanted to play together. This was all about just relationships.
Yeah. And
those relationships was based on other AAU leagues that is recruiting kids into these programs.
Yeah.
So that means you the 8th man every time.
Yeah. And I was willing, to work my hardest to just basically to make the team, but I didn't know that whole aspect of the whole tryout. So from that sophomore year, I literally just quit trying to try out for them and stuff like that. And
What is your chasing the hoop dream today?
Basically, it's a mix. It's kind of like a mix. I do want to play basketball overseas. I want to play professionally. But at the same time, I do have a growing family. So at the same time, I'm still looking for that career part where I'm growing.
So you hold on to that, and we're going to take a quick little break.
Okay.
But, wow.
Why you gonna do him like that?
That's amazing. I mean, I just left Hawaii. I seen big turtles and stuff. I'm just,
He's still in family mode, so my bad. He's still in family mode.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful for you.
Wait.
All the money you're going to spend at Disneyland.
Get the break. We're going to take a break in a second. So you said
okay.
it's between
Yeah.
playing overseas, your family. What?
Well, yeah, it's because I mean, like I said, I'm basically a ghost in a sense to the whole like sports world. So this past year, I've started playing in LA.
Getting your momentum and exposure out.
Yeah, getting my exposure. Like my nickname is Red Mamba. I've had that stuff like that, and I don't have anything to send to coaches and stuff like that. So if I go to one of these little tryouts or something like that, like I would hope that it's legit, because sometimes it's just more so a money thing. So I've been literally building on the youth business side, where I have my youth sports business called New Generation Athletics. I've been doing all of these things for career-wise, because, if this doesn't pan out, then, I guess I have to go here. But I do deeply desire to be, a professional athlete for multiple reasons. So,
and so what is Pac Rim?
Yeah.
What is that doing for you today?
Miles is named Mr. Cashton on Instagram. He actually introduced me to Pac Rim, and I didn't know who it was. They had like some type of like little like workout combine or something like that. So I ended up doing really well, and they wanted me to basically play with them on their team and stuff like that. And they treat most of the players like family. It's just nice. It's a lot different when you play in adult leagues, especially growing up. You didn't think like, okay, like there's actually organizations who actually have an actual adult league, system, and they also have a team that they put in multiple tournaments. I didn't know anything about that, so they basically like helped me get that type of exposure to see, okay, we can go play in this tournament, we can go play here, and the owners are really awesome. And Derek, he also helps with Pac Rim too. He's really cool. So it's like kind of like a family knit system in a sense, and they're highly competitive as well, but they're super helpful. Don definitely helped me, with my business as well, just, giving me certain things. So I just truly enjoy them. I would, talk highly of them all the time. So
what has that done for your I don't say confidence level in basketball? You keep saying you were as a ghost. So does that still kind of bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me anymore, because I feel like I'm like because of their help, I'm actually like getting more exposed. And obviously I have to try make sure I'm building my skills, especially. So they're not doing like everything for me. It's just they helped me get a platform to be able to go play in these leagues, meet people from Playing for Eternity, stuff like that. So I'm supposed to be playing in the Drew League, so that's going to help me get more exposure too. But, they just basically, just introduced me to something different, and they continue to contact me and tell me, oh, there's a tournament here, you want to play here. And it's everyone who you play against are actually like pros or former pros. So that's just more exposure, more like me understanding how I need to play, how I need to practice, train.
And then I want to touch on your, we got pictures of you with some youth. So what are you doing with the youth?
So my youth sports business is called New Generation Athletics. It's located in Riverside, California. It's been around since 2016, 2017. So I've coached over 100 kids, just like on my own for the most part. And I offer different classes, and my classes are in the catalog for the Riverside city. And I just love coaching them. I basically obviously train them.
Can I come? Can I come coach the kids?
Hey, you can come. Small group.
So you pretty much kind of did what you felt that you missed out of those opportunities. Somebody kind of grooming you or guiding you.
And I carry that with me all the time. Like I do the big groups where 3 years old to like 12, and then I do small groups and private training for like college and high school, stuff like that. So I always put that in the back of my mind, like, everything that I didn't get, that I had to receive over the years, and me getting injured, me learning how to take care of my body, from Chet Johnson, CJ. He's helped me as well, and training with Coach CJ has helped me. So I utilize all these things that I'm learning and I've learned over time, and I give it to the kids. And I don't sit there and say like, well, I need all this money from you. Like it's more than that. It's more than that. So that's why I carry that family sensation.
It's a lot of
too.
interlink with his story.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
'cause
I'm thinking like
yeah.
coach.
You know what I'm saying?
You see something about
Yeah.
coaching
He-
one day or something like that?
I coached high school freshman year. I had a good experience, like as far as like connecting with those youth. The school wasn't like as great to me as I wanted it to be. But I honestly don't want to coach any type of travel ball. But I love the training aspect of it. But I feel like for the youth sports business, my goal is to have a facility. I want to put programs in there, but I also want to extend it to like the foster care youth. Those the kids who don't have all that stuff. Because if I was growing up and I didn't have all that stuff, and
He
I
wanted to
didn't
get
know how
married at
there.
8.
He's a good dude.
He wanted to get married at 8. Ladies, he's taking. He's taking, ladies. He got married. He got married at 8.
This cat is
It's a good dude. It's a
he's
good dude. It's a lot of interlink to the story because if you really look at it, he went back to say, okay, hey, my parents didn't want to have. I didn't want to be bothered with my mom having to be, and I know how that works. Like travel ball. Mom's probably very attractive and single, probably, and guys is hitting on her, and the kids are trying to play. All that's going on, and then he comes back and builds a program for the kids that. Because in my case, I was in a scenario where I just had kids that didn't really have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So the weekends they're at my house, and then the weekends in my house, we're going on a tournament. So y'all going with me regardless, and can you play?
Sure.
If you can't play, then let's go out and let's just develop. And that's just great to hear your story interlink like that.
Any shout outs you want to give? We already gave the other two fellas some shout outs already. Anybody else you want to say hello to?
Ralph and
Obviously, my mom.
Chocolate cats out there.
Chocolate.
Where you at now?
You want to get in my program? Your kids want to get in my program?
To my mom. I appreciate her as well. Obviously my wife. My younger brother, just want him to be able to see me grinding because I talk to him so much and I try to encourage him. And that boy, he either listen or he don't. But, I just always try to be an example for him. And just, anyone else who has like a crazy story that you didn't get that typical route, that I try to be an example for them. Yeah. That's also why I want to be a professional athlete too because I don't have any college, barely any high school. And if I make it there, they see that. So shout out to those people who are in the same
Chasing the hoop dream right here, ladies and gentlemen. We just going to go. We got LABC. You want to take a break? All right. He wants to take a break. So we're going to take a quick break.
You get some water, man. Seconds. Need some water,
30 seconds. We got LABC League coming up next. And
thirsty,
we'll be right back.
Thirsty, man.
Thirsty, man. You hungry.
This segment was sponsored by Pac Rim Sports. Visit PacRimSports.com for more info and listen to their selective games live broadcast on Sports Collective Radio.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh, man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I didn't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. You know the facts that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. Y'all know. All right, welcome back. Hey, make sure if you want information about sickle cell trait, go to WDCONSCT.org. Very important conversation, especially for student athletes, because there are risk factors if you carry that inherited gene. Also, we talk about, having children with sickle cell disease. So make sure you check that out, WDCONSCT.org. All right, we got the LABC League. Let's see, we got Seth on the line.
We got Seth Thomas on the line.
we got Seth.
Yeah, I can't get nothing. There you go.
Is that the marvelous Seth?
Yes, it is the marvelous Seth.
That's the marvelous Seth with the great smile.
Yes,
Hey, man, so
sir.
introduce yourself, man. Let's catch up.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Coach Seth Thomas. As of right now, I'm coaching at LA Harvard College. Just grinding right now with my team. I'm at practice as of right now. Just stepping the hallway. Just been doing that. We had a pretty good season, up and down. It was more like a disciplinary season.
Okay.
Had to cut a player during the season because he didn't want to act right. Had to suspend our top player. But we went 11-17. But we lost every game with like 5-6 points. Every game we was in it. We just didn't get enough help from our bench. And, that was a good, learning experience for my first year at LA Harvard College. And, right now, I got I'm a PE teacher right now at this school called Watts Learning Center in Los Angeles on Colden and Broadway. I'm the PE teacher and the yard supervisor there.
Nice.
So I've been doing that. So I've been teaching PE, controlling the yard, making sure the kids, learn basketball, soccer, dodgeball, just teaching right now. Then right now, I just got finished playing in the Undisputed League. We played in that over a couple weeks ago. Just finished that league, made it to the playoffs.
Right.
Lost in the first round, and now I'm getting ready for tonight for the big P4E.
Oh, so you going to P3 tonight too? Everybody's had the P3 tonight.
I'm there tonight. I play at 9:40.
Okay.
Top of players, some of my returning players, some of my team, because now I have my own team that I created called Trained by Tiny, TBT. That's the coach that I was telling y'all about on the last segment I was on.
Right.
That raised me, that touched the community, that teach kids basketball. Started this program in 1984 Candy Bulls, coached at Dorsey, coached at Crenshaw, coached at Southwest China. He coached at Hawk Hoops right now. He's a legendary coach, trained. So I named to give something to represent a guy that paid a lot of calls and ain't the $1 million man. So I'm just giving back to a guy that taught me, but then don't ask for much, but just give his time and his loyalty to the person that he's trying to teach.
So tell me something about, we got this part brought to you by LABC League, man. So give us some insight. Let the people know how. That's like the start of the rec ball. So give the people some insight on the LABC League.
But you know what? Before you start, I like the piece the fact that allowing you to start your own team means something really big in the basketball community, because either you be put on a team or you be able, and we heard this from the previous leagues where they've allowed to be able to put together your own team. Is that a little bit more significant when you starting to go out there and play with a bunch of guys and having chemistry and trying to win?
Yes, that's the part that I love. That part right there. That the chemistry, learning the friendship, learning the loyalty, building the trust. It's like you going to war with your brother, so you know what he's capable of. You're going to trust him. I'm loving it right now. The chemistry of building my own team, because this is my third team that of the season. I had to get rid of a couple players, but they still my friends. They was good. It's just that the chemistry wasn't working right. So, like you just said, the chemistry. So right now I have two guys that's coming on the board that's pretty smart, that's pretty intelligent, that knows how to share the ball and make, not as well as a playmaker, but a player, can do both.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for, not just I'm playing with my friend and pick up ball. So that's what I'm loving right now. And I'm getting my recognition through the other leagues, because they letting me come in the leagues with players. So it's just working out right now. And I'm trying to do the LABC when that starts up too, because that should start up in a minute.
Yeah.
They've been pretty talked about, LABC League. How long you been playing in that? How long you've known about the LABC League?
I've been knowing about the LABC about going on 4 years, 3.5 years. So I played it in like 3 years. And what I love about it is the competitiveness. And the guys that play in it is the same. The guys that's hungry, that's trying to get somewhere, that's trying to see basketball take them to the next level. LABC has opened up so many doors to so many brothers, and not just brothers, different races. It's like the league right now is like the top league is outside the Undisputed when we're not playing in that. And then now you got the Tag Rim, and then now you got the P4E. So you got all these leagues that's combined together that came basically from players that played in the LABC, because the LABC was the first rec ball running around
Right.
in LA, you know? So now all of us have other areas we can go play and explore our talent thanks to the LABC, because now he has 3 fashion. He got the fashion in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then he got the one coming
Santa
to LA.
Clarita, he got LA. We've been at all of them.
All that. So by him having all those are avenues to open up doors for other players, meet people, get to China, get to
Because didn't we see Adam out of that league?
Yeah, Adam was in the.
You know, Adam got a
LABC
great
league.
story too, man.
LABC league. Adam was in the Pac Rim playing.
He played 5 games in one day or something?
That one game we went to, he had like 5 games that day he played.
Oh yeah, you see, and that goes because the LABC, and then you got the undisputed, where you'll play back-to-back games that same day.
Right.
So you'll play a mediocre team that day, and then that same day, then you'll play a good team the second game. So it's like LABC, undisputed, it's all connected, it's all love, and they just building this basketball approach, this basketball brand big in LA.
So for you, Seth, man, just give me like in like a couple of statements, man. What is chasing the hoop dreams for you right now?
Man, the chasing the hoop dream for me right now is it's so beautiful because, you know, I did time in the pen. You know, I did 10 years straight, 2004 to 2014. I've been shot in both of my legs. I wasn't able to walk again, they said. All my childhood friends went Division I, play high school ball. I didn't. So for me to come back home, start playing ball in 2014, 15, and I'm here at 2008, 19, college. I'm about to have my degree in AA. I already got my major in kinesiology.
Oh, you getting it. You getting it.
Basketball has chased my dreams to take care of my family.
Cool
so
deal, man.
I didn't make it to the NBA, but I made it to the level that I can take care of my family through basketball.
Hey.
If it wasn't for chasing the hoop dream, for me getting out, because I couldn't chase a dope sack, because I would go back to jail, couldn't chase a robbery, go back to jail. It's only so much a job is going to pay, so I had to figure out what God gave me as a talent. God gave me to coach, play basketball, to teach basketball. So chasing this dream has opened up so many avenues. I got keys to the college. I'm here. I'm the recruiting coach. The coach talking about making me the coach in 3 years if I stay consistent. So the head coach with another coach. So it's just the growth is coming from a guy that messed up his opportunity on my behalf, not nobody else, my behalf.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking full responsibility for my past mistakes and loving my decisions that I'm making now through my basketball.
Man, thank you, man. Thanks for calling in, man. We got a few more minutes left, man. We appreciate you, man, and thanks for shouting us out, man.
Yeah, you done dug this.
LABC.
I be following you on social media,
We
fam.
got you for sure.
I'm there tonight at the P4E. My team is PBT.
All right.
And I got my college team is playing tomorrow. So I'll be playing today, and then tomorrow I'll be coaching. So,
all right.
So I'm doing both. So, you know, I'm recruiting too at the same time.
Cool deal, man.
So I'm chasing and teaching and learning and giving back at the same time. So I just want to tell y'all thank you for giving me an opportunity.
We appreciate you too, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Shout us out. All right. Thanks. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We got our 20-second timeout news highlight segment. We're going to end the show with this right here coming up. So this is the Double R. Took some time out to give you some highlights from this past weekend. Shout us out.
Thanks, Faran. This week has been full of history, craziness, madness, and shocking things that took place this week. Our first thing this week, the Dodgers have homered in 32 consecutive home games, which is history. They've been bringing the bats all season. You know who else has been bringing the bats? Oakland A's Chris Davis, not Crush Davis. Chris Davis just signed an extension, 2 years, $33.5 million, and he's probably done a couple bat flips in his time. Speaking of bat flips, oh my gosh, the Royals and the White Sox, Tim Anderson hit a home run. He launched his bat like a javelin. That pisses off Kansas City's pitcher Keller. Keller nails him with a 95 in the butt, and from then on it was a brawl. Anderson gets a 1-game suspension. Keller got a 5-game suspension. But either way, it's going to be hurting their squad. You want to talk about hurting? Let's talk about Israel Adesanya. He defeats Daniel Gastelum in the MMA, and after that, he gives praise to Gastelum, and then he calls out John Bones Jones, calling him a bully and dropping the challenge. That would be an awesome fight. I would love to see. And talk about challenges in a fight, man, Boogie Cousins, man, I feel bad for Boogie Cousins. That dude's been hurt everywhere he's played. He was just up with the Warriors, just doing good, and now he tears his quad. This guy has the worst luck ever. You know who else has had bad luck lately? Seattle Storm WNBA MVP Breanna Stewart ruptured her Achilles, not in the WNBA, but in a EuroLeague game. Are you freaking kidding me? That is definitely going to dent Seattle's chances of repeating the championship. Talking about dents. Gronk, what were you doing? So they go to the Boston Red Sox game, and the Patriots were there with their rings. Red Sox were getting their rings on Patriots Day. And Gronk decides, before the first pitch, to use the trophy as a bat, hits a baseball, and dents the Vince Lombardi trophy. Gronk, just because you're retired doesn't mean you get to destroy history. I'm just saying, it's going to cost him. And it costed the Seattle Seahawks this week as they paid up to Russell Wilson as he stays with the Seahawks. 4 years, $140 million. No shocker there, you guys. But the big shock was on the ice. The lowest seeded Columbus Blue Jackets swept the President Trophy winning Tampa Bay Lightning. The young studs of Columbus defeated the vets of Tampa. I thought that was awesome that the young studs stepped up and showed them what was up. And that's what's going to happen on April 25th through April 27th in Nashville. The NFL draft is on its way, you guys. Arizona Cardinals, you're on the clock. Back to you, Faran.
This segment was sponsored by LABC League. Visit LABCLeague.com for more info and listen to the Collective Games live broadcast on Sports Collective Radio.
Here he is cooking in this one. The Giants win it 12-7.